And how about the server resources and all? Hope you guys have went through uh, the recorded session. Have you?
And no, actually, this topology I didn't go through.
Mm-hmm.
I was practicing some host network IDs.
Okay. All right. So, like I said on the other day, this workgroup model is suitable only for the smaller network and it is easy to configure.
Hmm.
Okay, but it's not suitable for the larger network. So, because the admin task is very high, because for every system, if he needs to set some policy or something to a particular system, so in the workgroup model, he needs to go to each and every system and get that done. It
Yes,
means there is some centralized management system is missing.
yes. There is
Okay,
no control over one computer or other computer. You need to check one on one.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the domain model, this is something where you have the centralized management system. Okay, from where you will be managing your data objects, so, files and everything. Okay,
Hmm.
so that is the advantage of the domain model. Okay, so I'll suggest you guys to I'll give you the lab. Okay, I'll tell you how to create a free Azure subscription, and in that subscription, how to create a Windows servers and all. Okay, so that you can practice it. So that's the one part. And today we're gonna talk something about this Active Directory domain services. Why do we need to have this Active Directory domain services? Okay, so let me know once you start seeing the screen. Are you guys able to see?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So basically, on the other day we talked about the domain model, right? And any idea about what is hub and switch? What is the difference? What is the advantage of switch over the hub?
Yeah, hub is used for the broadcast model. Like it goes to everyone, including the source. In switch, after the very first time, from second time, it will be only going to the required destination what we have set. So it is an intelligent device.
So what is the process that we call?
Unicasting,
Okay. And what is the process to be named, when it does for the first time?
flooding.
That's what I was expecting, you guys. All right, thank you, Harish. So, Uma, how
Yeah.
about you? Are you able to follow us? No, because the thing is that the going forward, the terminologies and everything would be different. So that's the reason.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why I was just asking in case if you have any questions and then let us know because going forward the terminologies and everything will be a bit complicated. I'll try to put everything in a nutshell, but again,
Mm.
thing is like if you're not following here, so again you'll be having challenges. Okay, in further sessions. That's what I'm saying.
Gopal, maybe I missed some two sessions mostly. So can you share that or that recordings to me? So I will
Yes,
go
sir.
through.
Yes, Amrita, I'll do that. I'll just share that recording with you. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Thank
I'll
you.
share. Yeah. Okay, so let's say, so this is a switch, and this switch, there are multiple systems which are connected with the switch. Okay, all right. Okay, this is also an VM. ADDS is also an virtual machine or the server we can call. Okay, so what do we need to do is that when we install on a server. Okay, so let's suppose we're gonna take Windows Server 2019. Okay, so this is what we're gonna deploy it in our lab. Okay, so when we deploy this Windows Server, so that's when we need to install, we need to go to roles and features. Okay, and we need to install ADDS role, Active Directory Active Directory Domain Services. Okay, we need to install this role. So once this is done, so that's when it will ask, okay, post installation of the service, it will ask whether we need to promote this server as a domain controller. Okay, so we need to promote that one. Okay, so this would be our lab, and we need to join to the domain. Okay, so like I said, we can create the domain with our, as per our choice. Let's say it's uh, techieheads.com. Okay, or any abc.com. Okay, we can create some domain. Okay, the moment we install it. Okay, getting me?
Yes.
Okay, so once we do that, so this is our task that we need to do on the server on the Azure. Okay, uh, I believe you guys are having your credit card with you, because I would want you guys to create a Azure free account. Okay, Azure free trial account, and then you need to create a virtual machine inside the portal, Azure portal. Okay,
Okay. But it will
yeah.
be only 30 days, right? So do you want us to do it today only? Like,
So this will be your task. I'll just show you in my system. Okay, and later I would give you a task. Okay, to complete it. Okay, all right. So we must be having a doubt also what is domain controller and everything, right? Are you guys able to see the screen, the whiteboard?
yeah, like the Windows Server 2019 roles and features.
All right. So basically, what does a domain controller does is basically it acts as a gatekeeper and authenticates whether the user is authorized to access the IT resources in the domain. Okay, okay, and there are different functions that we need to talk about. Okay, so domain controller control all the domain access, right? Like I said, it will authenticate the users, right? And it will deny the access for the unauthorized users. Okay, So so let's say this is a scenario, and where, okay, so user one, okay, user one is trying to log into this system using his domain account. Let's say you have deployed a domain controller, okay, let's say with abc.com. So when you create any user in this domain, so it will be like, let's say it's a user one, okay, user one at the rate abc.com. So this is how it would be. So this indicates the domain, okay. So when this user logins to the server, okay, or his machine using his using his domain credentials, so that's when, okay, the moment he enters the credentials in this server, okay, or in this VM, so the authentication will done here, okay, the moment he enters the credentials and everything. So when the authentication is successful, okay, so once the authentication is successful, so that's when, user would be able to log into this machine which is connected in this LAN. Otherwise, if the credentials are not correct, so that's when, it denies the connection. Getting me? Okay.
Can you repeat it again, please?
Yeah. So let's say we have deployed this domain controller. Okay. Domain controller means with the domain abc.com. Okay. And we have created one user, say user one. And now this user is having the ID like, user one at the rate abc.com. So I believe you guys are working in some organizations, and there you have some their office address, right? Official email address or user ID will be given to you. Okay, regarding with respect to the company where you do work. If it is let's say if it's a infosys.com user one at the rate infosys.com. So that this part infosys after at the rate abc.com, infosys.com, tcs.com, hcl.com, whatever it is. So that is nothing but the domain. Okay. So when this user log into this any machine, okay, using his domain credentials, so that's when request will go to this active directory domain services. Or if we just promoted this to a domain controller, then the request will be there in the domain controller, okay, dc, and it will authenticate whether the user is entering the right credentials or not. If those are not right, so that's where, his access and everything will be denied or the connection will be refused. Okay. I'll just give you a simple example. So, Haris, I believe you are working somewhere,
Yes.
right? And may I know your organization name?
Yeah, Pantera Networks.
Sorry?
Networks. Wait on that.
Okay, so what is your ID there you have,
Harish@panteranetworks.com.
right? So that last after at the rate what is there? So that is nothing but the domain.
Correct.
Okay. So every time when you log into any server or to any browser that they give access you, so that's where, you need to enter that credentials in order to log in. And in the
Correct.
back end, the request, the moment you enter the password and everything, so that's where the authentication will happen here at domain controller.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it will authorize and authenticate it.
Okay. If
Yeah.
your credential is wrong, if you have any issues with the credentials, if you have logged the credentials, right? So that's where request will come here. Due to some reason you have entered the wrong credential multiple times, your account will be locked. Then we have to come, what you do, you raise a support ticket with the help desk team. And help desk team, what they're gonna do is they're gonna log. They do have some limited access to this where they can reset your, unlock your account or reset the password. So this is
Yes.
where they come and make the changes and get back to you with an update that this is what we have done and now you are able to log in. Okay, either they provide a new password or they would unlock your account and ask you to log in using the same password. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So now I'm going something more deep dive into this. Let's say this is my domain. Okay, techieheads.com. And also I do have another domain. Sorry, the same domain. I mean to say that I do have another domain controller. Okay, so I would say this is domain controller 1. Okay, this is a domain controller 2. Okay, all right. So there would be communication between these two domain controller. The reason why we need to have at least a two domain controllers, right, in organization, the reason being, due to some reason, okay, due to some reason, if this goes down, so how the user would log in? There would be some backup, right? So that's the reason we usually create another domain controller. Minimum two domain controller is what is advisable. Okay, due to some reason, if primary domain controller goes down, so we have this another domain controller or the backup domain controller from where the user would authenticate and will be able to access to the network resources. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and also let's say I do have one more domain controller. So domain controller is always represented with this triangular shape. Okay. Sorry, domain is always represented with this triangular shape. Okay. This is DC one. So as we do have, this is nothing but a kind of tree which we are having, right? It's a kind of tree that we have,
Hmm.
right? It's forming a T kind of thing. That's nothing but there are some terminologies that you need to remember. You can make a note of those. Forest, tree. Okay. Okay. If I ask you, if I tell you what is tree, okay, in the Active Directory. Okay.
So one or more domain controllers in the same network will be tree.
Exactly. Okay. I'm just looking for some images so which will give you some more picture. Let me know if you're able to see this one.
Yeah, it is.
Right. So for example, okay, so here we do have something called this blue.com and red.com. These are two different domains, right? So under these two different domains, right, these belongs to the same forest. Group of trees are nothing but the forest, right? In general term also. So let's say I have something called this domain blue.com, and this blue.com is further divided into some subdomain, right? It's a part of sales.blue.com and pr.blue.com. It's again, though it's a subdomain, but again it's a part of this blue.com, the main domain, right? So this is nothing but the tree structure. Okay, right? If I just put something more into simpler form, it's a package is a domain which I created. Okay, and further if I need to create something called like techieheads dot uh, some azure.com. Okay, let's say if it is, let's say, techieheads dot azure.com. Okay, azure.com is a subdomain. The main domain is techieheads, though it's a part of this main domain, right? And also techieheads is a part of, let's say I have another subdomain, okay, which is techieheads.windows.com. Okay, these are also part of techieheads.com. Okay, this is something forming a tree. These subdomains are seems to be branches kind of thing. Okay, so I have, let's say, another domain. This is a tree. Group of trees is called as forest. Okay, if you want me to have the more I would say, just a moment, configuration part, I'll show you right away.
Gopal, I have one doubt. Uh, Hello.
Mhm. Yes,
Hi.
yes.
In that case, the techieheads.com is a primary, means the first domain, primary. So these two DC3 means that one is a subdomain. So in that case, the last part should be techieheads.com means, or this one will be like that only, means
Sorry,
techieheads.azure.com or
sorry.
azure.
Yes, it should be. Sorry, my bad. It should
Yeah.
be azure.techieheads.com. Last domain would
Yes.
still remains the same. My bad.
Yes. Yes.
Last domain will still remains the same. Only it should be
Same.
like, azure.techieheads.com, or it should
Okay.
be windows.techieheads.com.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Amrita.
Yeah. No issue. Means actually, I was confused. That's why I asked. Means is
No,
that
no,
okay? Yeah.
no, no, no. Fine, fine. Thank you for that. Okay, because the last domain won't change, but it's a part of domain. So this is your main domain, and this is nothing but your subdomain that you have. Okay, so any doubts, anything, Harish?
No.
All right. So right now I'm sharing the screen. Stop sharing the screen, and now I'll just share it with this Azure portal. Okay, so I'll tell you what you guys need to do. Okay, it's a quick task that you guys have to do. See, hope you are able to see the screen.
Yeah.
All right, so what you need to do is that, so you need to type something called Azure free account. Okay, in the portal, we're gonna cover this part later, but right now, in order to have the domain controller to be deployed, we need to have something, some servers or something, right? So what you need to do is that you need to go to your browser, ensure that you do have your credit card with you. Okay, so you just go here, click here, right? It will ask you to enter your first name, last name, email ID, okay, your date of birth and your pan card. Okay, just click on start free here. Right now I'm not eligible to create because I have already created it. Okay, I do have free account with this. Okay, so you will be seeing something like this. This is nothing but portal.azure.com. This is where we manage our infrastructure and everything over the cloud. Okay, so what I want you to do is like, you need to create a free account. Free account means the subscription will created. Okay, this is nothing but the free trial subscription. Okay, getting me? So once the subscription is created, what you can do is, I'll talk about subscription and everything, this Azure account, everything during our Azure session. But right now we need to have some virtual machine. Okay, I'm stopping this virtual machine. I'm gonna create a new virtual machine, and I'll be installing roles inside that. I'll go to home. I'm gonna create a virtual machine right now here. Okay, there are other virtual machines also. So that's why it is being charged. See, whenever you don't have your virtual machine in use, okay, you need to come here, you need to stop it. It means it will deallocate the virtual machine. See, the virtual machine will be in deallocate status or the stop status, and you will not be charged. Okay, so you'll think that you will be charged for this thing. So let me tell you, when you create this free subscription, so Microsoft will give you like 30 days of trial version, okay, and with 200 US dollars. Okay, so you have enough time to practice and do the things over there. Okay, so right now I'm creating a server. In order to create a server, in order to have the roles installed, so I need to have some server with me, right? So what I'm doing, I'm creating a virtual machine here. Okay, so I'm creating some I'm using the existing resource group. So as it would be first time for you, so you can create some resource group with this name, any name, rg1 or rg2. Okay, so this is the VM which I'm creating, and this is the region. Sorry. Okay, so here I'll select availability option as no redundancy required. Okay, for availability zones and all. I no need for right now. For security time, I'll just put it as a standard. Okay, and I'll be deploying Windows Server 2019 data center. Okay, so this is the size I'm selecting. You can select any other size also, but like I said, so we need to have minimum 4 GB of just a moment. So right now I can go with this. Okay, and then I'll create some account. It means local account. So it means the VM will not be joined to the domain yet until we install the roles in it. Okay. Okay. I'm giving some password. Okay. So I'm allowing this port 3389. I'm exposing this port. Okay. Next I'm going to this, coming to this disk option, and I'll select this local or standard SSD. Okay. So here when we talk about the network, so by default I have created one virtual network. So I'll be connecting that virtual net to that virtual network, right? And this will be the by default subnet which I created. So this is the IP that we need to select for energy and everything. Okay, now you don't have to do anything. All you need to do is that review and create. Once the VM is created, we'll be connecting to this virtual machine via RDP. See, the validation is passed, and here we can check all the options what we have, like subscription, free trial, resource group, so and so, virtual machine name. Okay, and in which region, whether we have opted for availability options and all, or standard security type and everything. Okay, what are the inbound ports and all. Okay, so once it is done, we're gonna click on create. The virtual machine will be created. Okay, if you have some physical server, okay, so in order to practice that, you need to have some physical server, but you need to have the higher configuration, right, for practice. So this is one of the best options that we can have. People who are using VMware, they can deploy the servers and everything there on VMware. Okay. So this is the task that you guys need to do from your side also, and I would want you guys to ping your email IDs so that I can assign you the task, and you should be receiving some invitation link from my side with the task details and all. You need to click there and you need to complete the task. Okay. Any doubts or anything right now? Harish, Uma, Amruta.
No, Gopal.
Okay. How about you, Uma? Are you able to follow us?
Uh, yeah, I will have to go through the video again, honestly speaking, but it's okay.
All right. Okay, so I'm hope you guys are having your credit card with you, right? And never used for this Azure free account creation so far.
Actually, I have used it twice, so need to check it.
Okay, so what you need to do is just create another email ID.
Hmm.
Okay. create some another email ID, and use some other mobile number, okay, and use some different credit card, and try to create the free agent account.
Okay, okay. So that's what, Gopal. If I create now, it will be only for 30 days, right?
Yeah, that will be for 30 days.
Yeah. So that will be fine, right? Like it won't be, like our classes will be still on and my expiry date will be coming near. That's not a problem, right?
No, no, if it is post 30 days, so anywhere your subscription will be into disabled state.
Okay.
And you need to upgrade it to the pay as you go subscription, or else you can have another email ID and contact number, right? But where would you practice? The
Hmm.
question is, where would you practice then?
Yes.
Right? So that is the challenging part, no?
Hmm.
See, this is how. See, now the my VM is ready. Okay, this is the resource group reason and everything. It will give the public IP. So public IP, this is the IP address that I'm gonna use in order to connect to this virtual machine. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna just click here, so it will be copied, and I'll go to my run command on my base machine, and will type mstsc. Okay, or else in search, if I type remote desktop connection, so it will come something like this. Okay, then I need to enter this IP address there, and it will ask me for some credentials. Okay, so as it's a local account dot, okay, see now it is giving me an option to connect, so I'm clicking on yes. Amrita, this is for you. I believe you are having this Azure account with you, right?
Yes, yes, I
So
have.
you can create a virtual machine and you can install the rules and everything there.
Yes, yes.
See, the first time I have been logging into this virtual machine, so that is the reason in the backend it is creating my profile and all. Okay, the local profile, because this machine is not yet joined to the domain. Okay, see in your thin client or in your laptops. Okay, you won't see this server manager console kind of thing, because that is a client operating system. Okay, this is a server operating system. In order to check what is the version and everything, you can go to the run command and type winver. It will give you Microsoft Hyper-V Server 2019. Okay, this is the version and all. Okay, in order to verify whether this server is joined to the domain or not, you can go to the run command and type sysdm.cpl. It will take you here. So here, do you see that this is a workgroup machine? Okay, so how does it look like when it is joined to the domain? I'll tell you. I'll show you. Okay, so what you need to do, either you can click here add roles and features, or here from manage you can go to add roles and features. Okay,
Gopal, this server manager dashboard, it will come automatically, or do I need to install anything?
you no need to install anything because it's a server operating system now. So by default you'll get the server manager console in it.
Okay.
Okay, if due to some reason, if you are not seeing this,
Hmm.
let's say due to some reason if you are not seeing this, go here in the start. Here you will find that server manager.
Yeah.
Okay. So either you can install the roles and features from here, this option, or from here also. Or if you want to remove it, you can do it here from remove roles and features. So right now we are installing Active Directory Domain Services role. Okay. So I'll just click on next. I'll select role based or feature based installation. This is the server on which I'll be installing the roles and all. See here. Okay. I'll be installing this Active Directory Domain Services. It will ask for the related tools and management tools, group policy tools, and everything. If they want us to add the features, yes, we should add it. Click on Add Features. Okay, and also select DHCP server and DNS server. Okay, right now I'm not installing DHCP because I have another server on which I have DHCP and DNS installed. I'll talk about later. So for now, just click on Active Directory Domain Services option, and from here then click on and also click on this web server. Okay, I'll tell you why. So once it is done, click on next. Okay, so let all the options as by default, then go to next, and then click next. Now here you'll be able to see what all services and everything which gonna install here. Okay, now here we can click on next. So here you will see what all things that you are going to install it related to this group policy management, Active Directory domain services, okay, administration tools, remote server administration tools, right? Active Directory module for Windows PowerShell, right? So all these options will be installed here. Okay, for IS web server we are installing, so that's the reason it is showing management console and everything, which gonna install it here by default. Okay, then click on next. It's gonna take a while. See, while the it is getting installed, so there is something called I'll talk something about this uh, authentication part. Okay, What is the authentication that Active Directory uses? So basically it follows the Kerberos authentication. Okay, it's a third party authentication which is being used by the Active Directory domain services. Okay, what, so it is an interview question, so you can make a note of this. Okay, no one gonna explain you in detail regarding this Kerberos authentication. Okay, very few people does that. All right, so I have this user. Okay, and this user needs to, he's the user, okay, or the system where user one is logged in. Okay, and I have this server, and I would say that this is a file server. This is a file server. Okay, so this, he is a domain user. Okay, let's say he's a user one. Okay, he's a user one and he's trying to access this file server. Okay, but there is a process which is being followed here in order to access it. Okay, though he's a domain user, he's a, we can authenticate, we can do everything, but what is the, in the backend, how the authentication process is going on is something that we're gonna see here. Okay, the authentication which is being done here would be like using the Kerberos authentication. Okay, so where we have something called this is nothing but e distribution, e distribution center. Okay, or we can call it as a KDC. So what is involved in this KDC? Like there are two things. In this K distribution center, we do have two different servers. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so here we have two servers called, one is authentication server, or I am denoting that as an AS. Okay, and ticket granting server. Okay, so what happens, so when user one, okay, so user one wants to access this file server, he has entered the credentials and everything. So what will happen, the request will go to this authentication server. Okay, this authentication server will provide ticket granting ticket, right? The ticket granting ticket will be provided by this authentication server, ticket granting ticket, and it will ask go and talk to the ticket granting server. So now the request will be forwarded to the ticket granting server. Okay, now this ticket granting server will authenticate with this ticket granting ticket and it will issue a token. It will issue a token. Okay, so this token will be sent to the user, and now this user will take this token and go to the file server. Now this file server will authenticate this token with ticket granting server. Okay, and if it is valid, right, so that's when he'll be able to, user one will be able to access the file server. This is nothing but the Kerberos authentication. If you have any doubt, let me know, I'll explain again. Though it's a small process, but you should know about it. Okay, so when user is entering, I'll explain again. Let's say I have a user one, so when he's using the secret key or his credentials to access the file server, so that's when the request will go to this authentication server. This authentication server will issue ticket granting ticket. Okay, so it will say that take this ticket granting ticket and talk to the ticket granting server. Now the request will be forwarded to the ticket granting server. Now this ticket granting server will authenticate the ticket granting ticket which was issued by the authentication server. Okay, and then it will issue a token. Okay, and it will ask go and talk to the file server, use this token and go to the file server. Now the request, this token will be forwarded to the user, and user will carry this token and go to the file server. Now file server will receive this token and it will verify the token with the ticket granting server whether is it a legitimate token or not. If it is a legitimate token, so that's when it will give access to this server for the user one. Okay, if due to some reason if it is not working, so that's when it will deny the permission, the user won't be able to access. Okay,
Yes.
okay, now see here, the moment I install the active directory domain services role, so that's where now see it is saying that do you want me to promote this server to a domain controller? Yes, we need to promote this, and it will. Okay, so here what we are doing, that we are creating a new forest. Okay, okay, there should be the domain name. So what is the domain name that you guys want me to give? I'm giving something called Azure Practice. Okay, just come here and select add a new forest. Okay, so let's say the new forest is already created. Okay, and you are adding another domain controller to an existing forest, existing domain. So this is the option that you need to select. Okay, and if you have new domain apart from this Azure Practice, any other domain but in the same forest, so that's when you need to use this option, second option. But in our scenarios, we don't have any forest created so far, so that is the reason this is the only single tree or the single domain controller which we are creating in this forest. So that is the reason we are selecting this option, add a new forest, and we are giving this domain name like Azure Practice. Okay, then click on next. It's not proposed. Okay, let's say if it is a .com, what it says. Okay, it is giving, so use .com option. Okay, the forest function level is something where, so in the entire forest, the minimum operating system should be 2016. Okay, and also at the domain level also the minimum should be 16. Okay, if you want to restrict somewhere or if you need to decrease it, let's say I want to have a server which is 2012 or 2012 R2 to be part of this forest. So there we can select, so here we can select it. Okay, there is one thing, once the forest function level is raised from 12 to 16. Okay, the reverse option is not possible. We cannot degrade it once it is raised. Okay, so this should be the unique password and you should remember this password. This is the password you're going to use to log in it. Okay, click on next. Uncheck this option. Go to next. So here you'll come like azurepractice.com kind of thing. You'll get this domain name. Azure Practice. Okay. Okay. So this is the database folder where your complete operating system details will be available. C, Windows, NTDS. Okay. This logs, if you want to see, this is the same path, and sysvol folder. Okay. System volume information. You'll be seeing there. This is the path. Click on next. Okay. So it will give you all the reviews, like the things which we have doing that. We are configuring the server as the first active directory domain contains the new forest. The new domain is so and so. The net device name is so and so. This is the forest function level and everything. The options that we selected, it will give a summary kind of thing. Okay. Now the moment we install it, it will reboot. It might throw an error because it doesn't have a proper the IP, which is a dynamic IP I'm using. So what I need to do is that excuse me. So what I need to do is that I need to make this dynamic IP as an uh, static IP. How would I do that? Okay, I'll just come to this networking section here on Azure portal. Okay, so I'll come to this NIC part. Okay, so in NIC there is something called IP configuration. Okay, in IP configuration, see here it shows the dynamic IP, because for any server we need to have static IP. So we can come here and make it static. It is updating the network interface. See, it is now updated as a static. Can you see that? Now, I think the VM is being rebooted. No, this is the VM I have. See, now it is getting rebooted. So that's when it will affect the roles and everything which are being installed. I'll be losing the RDP connection. Okay. So in order to check whether the server is coming up or not, what I can do that I can go to the command prompt and type continuous ping. I'll click ping and put the public IP, then hyphen T. Okay, now it's not pinging. Okay, the moment the server is up, that's when you will be able to see this one. The ping response, you will receive a ping response. The server is not yet up. It's a continuous ping when I put as hyphen T. So that's where it would be a continuous ping. Okay. And on the Azure portal, if I need to see that what is due to some reason, if I forgot something, right? If I need to see my credentials, the local credentials, so that's what I can reset it from here. Reset password. Okay. Even if I click on the boot diagnostic option, it will give me the option. See here, after domain joining, this is where it got stuck. It is on applying computer settings. Okay, so once it is done, the server will be up and it will give you an option like control all delete kind of thing. So that's when we can RDP to the server. Other parallelly, we can verify the same by checking the ping response. Okay. Guys, I would want you guys to just share your email address uh, on the WhatsApp group that we have.
I think my email address is with you, right, Rupal? Amrita.
Yeah, Amrita, yours are there.
Yeah.
Uma and Harish, please share your email address. I think it will come up in some time. See, now it is giving me the option where it shows the screen in the boot diagnostic. It is showing the login screen. Okay, control all delete. So now this means I should be able to log into this server right now. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna copy this public IP, and again I'll go to this one and type mstsc and enter the IP address, right? Okay, let me try to log in with the domain password. Sure whether it will. See, it is giving me an option. Okay, so I'm using my domain credentials in order to log in. Also, I can use the local credential to log into this server. Okay, and where we can check whether the server is joined to the domain or not. In the beginning of the class, I've shown you. It is gathering some inventories values. So go to the runtime, type sysdm sysdm.cpl. Once you type there, see, this is the domain, azurepractice.com. Do you see that? And this is the complete VM name, techieheads vm3.azurepractice.com. This is the full computer name that we have. Okay. So your task is that once you install the roles and all, I would want you to come here in the tools. Okay. Go to Active Directory users and computers. Once it is done, come here and give a right click and go to the new and create one user. Okay. And give him some credentials, some name, XYZ, whatever it is. Okay. And then log off from this domain controller and use that credential for that user and try to log in, and let me know in case if you have any issues. Okay.
No, after creating the new user, how to log in?
How to log in? You need to sign out from this, just like your laptop. Okay, so come in here. Okay, sign
Mm-hmm.
out of,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can log in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
just sign out from here and again go to the portal, get the IP, try to do RDP, and then enter your user credentials using the do, uh, use domain credentials in order to log into the server. That's your task. Okay.
Yeah, the new user credentials, right?
Yes. And let me know if you are able to access the server using the new user credentials or not. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So that's all for today. Any doubts or anything that you have, guys? Amruta, Harish.
No, no, Gopal.
Okay. So just go through the recordings again and again